Anyway, we're excited for your next week's group too, I'm sure. First of all, the layout of your Prezi was really, really good. Really good colour, good font layout. I think for some of them there was like a lot of text. I don't know if you could have condensed a little bit more or hyperlinked words rather than putting in the URL, but that's just me saying that. So instead of having like there, you could have just hyperlinked something to make it look a bit more.
There's a couple of things, like because it's a circle, some of the words kind of just start to go out of the circle a little bit.
Maybe we're just being really picky.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, just the music on it was a little bit distracting. I don't know. I think you can not have music on it. Anyway, yeah, maybe no music would have been a bit better. We turned it off, but still, yeah, it took us a little while.
So it's good having the slide that tells you how to get around. So that's good. There was the video that you had for the definition of creative space, which was really good. Like it was only a really, really short video. Like I think there's only a couple of points in it, but that was okay because I guess it got to the point of what we needed to understand.
And it was a good pace to read as well.
Yeah.
As it was being written out, it wasn't too quick.
Yeah, so that's good.
Good work.
And the second video, which was the video on another page, we kind of started watching it, but we didn't really engage with it very much.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
It had like kids in it and stuff.
We couldn't really hear it very well. We're in the library. We meet in the library every week.
There's a vacuum going.
It's vacuum cleaners and other people talking, which I guess isn't like your fault or anything, but just gets really hard to concentrate to videos that are talking a
And
lot.
it wasn't super engaging.
Anyway, I'm sure it's content.
Creative space.
Who's doing that one? Is that you?
So that's the Apple.
Yeah.
We found the creative space reading. We couldn't do it because we require an Apple device. None of us had
Apple computers.
And I wasn't room down the bottom to use theirs.
Yeah.
And only a couple have iPhones, but we just thought it would be really hard to read a whole reading on one iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to allow like all of us to be able to engage with that.
And not all schools have Apple either, so just to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, so whether that could have been changed, like,
Or like download
another
it or
reading.
something.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we didn't do that. Skip. Who wants to do the? Oh, that's me. Activity 1. Task 1 is the classroom architect link thing. The whole idea, like the actual website was pretty good, and you could sort of play around and put your classroom layout however you liked. But we all weren't really sure what the purpose of it was. It sort of probably wasn't realistic in terms of a proper classroom. You could only put in a certain amount of tables without it being too cluttered.
Yeah, you
There
couldn't
wasn't-
change many dimensions
Yeah.
or anything like that.
It's sort of, and we spent quite a lot of time just trying to make it look pretty, and it's sort of, we were left feeling a little bit like,
Maybe if you'd made us have to justify what we've done, so maybe if you'd said justify why you put the just in this portal, why
It
is
would
it
have been a bit more.
laid as it is? Yeah,
Yeah, a
but
bit more
what we
meaning to
did,
it.
like you just did it, and it wasn't really.
we sort of,
Anything
left feeling a bit like we wasted 5 minutes, but
I feel
otherwise
like it was like halfway
kind of-
there, just like another extra little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Comparing the two classrooms.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it was actually.
Who wants
Yeah,
to talk?
it takes you back to thinking between the differences and everything, which
Because
I
we all
think
went to school so long
sometimes.
ago.
I know, but you don't exactly think
Yeah.
about it like that, like all the time kind of thing. And looking at it even before when we went to school, I mean, you can see huge differences and
And
everything.
thinking about how we're going to be able to lay our classroom in the future, because that's all something that we're going to have control over, and we're going to have to be able to think about it.
And I think the choice of the two images allowed us to like visualise what they actually look like, because even though obviously we all go on practice up, and then the picture of how classrooms used to be when we didn't experience that, it's good for us to be able to compare the two.
And also related to personal experiences, I know because Laura and I went to India, and the older image, that was what it's still like today. They don't have any advanced technology, so just the blank tables and the blackboard.
Yeah. So even though we haven't used the other classroom, the older image, before, as teachers, we were able to still bring ideas from it. And that was good. It got us talking quite a bit.
You can really see the two differences between the classrooms. And there's quite a lot of good differences.
And quite a lot of pros and cons for both of them as well.
Just like the more modern one just looks so much more inviting than what the older style classroom does. It's a lot more formal structure.
Sketchy idea.
Yeah, activity one, which was optional, was sketching your ideal learning space, we sort of thought was exactly the same as the first one, except we didn't have to draw it. I mean, we had to draw it. So we didn't do it. I guess we're just a little bit lazy. No, but it was still a good idea, but sort
I
of
guess
maybe
we've got
if we
enough
could've-
pictures of it in
Yeah.
our minds to know what we do and not do.
And I think as a whole group to create our ideal learning space where we're also different. Some of us might be more creative than others, have different ideas in our mind of how we're going to set up our classroom and things like that. But anyway. That was that video.
Yeah.
That was
That was watching the technology.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
That
then we
was a
had
good
to think of
How
technology
change
that we
the future.
use.
Yeah.
What will happen in the future.
Yeah.
Like it really, especially like the slide with the projector, like we all had that in our classrooms, and it really made you think how quickly it has changed over a short period of time.
And that it's only speeding up, like the changes are happening, yearly, if not that. And so it's very hard to say what technology is going to be like in even 5 years' time, because it's going to be so new and, stuff that we won't even thought of will be happening. So yeah, interesting.
I think it was interesting to show the progression of even like just like mobile phones, how they started off so big and then like it's gone to like getting smaller now and they're getting bigger again, like the iPhones and everything.
The tablets.
So that's interesting,
Oh, that was
Oh,
just
was
the
that
actual
actually-
video.
What was that thing with the
This was a good one too, actually. That was the
that was
past,
the
present, future.
future.
So that was interesting, thinking about how it's changed and some of the main shifts that
Trying
have changed.
to think of how it will change
the
into the
future.
future.
I thought the first thing I thought it was Tony Stark. The thing is that he does. That'd probably be the future. But otherwise, you really have to think.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, so we're trying to think of something that's not actually there.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how far you've come from like blackboards and now like you have to smart boards, things.
And I know like there's prototypes and stuff around, so like robots and even driverless cars and trucks and all that kind of stuff. And watches that are linked to your mobile phones and all that. So it's really hard to think of things that aren't already in prototype or anything anyway. Because our world is going to be changing constantly now that technology is advancing so much.
Just a film. Oh, the debate.
It was a hard topic, I think, because I think it's almost a given that present learning spaces are more engaging than past learning spaces. So it's kind of tricky with the whole argument being that it's better.
But
back
in
then.
saying that, also we haven't had any experience in that sort of classroom. I mean, obviously, it was sort of like that when we were in primary school, but nothing like what it used to be like. So we don't really know what the pros and cons of that older learning place.
And if it is worded like that, does that mean that you guys favour the older learning styles more, and are you going to put your reasonings up or something about that so you can justify it too? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely made us think because we all initially just said that the newer way and the newer learning styles and learning space is more advanced and better than what it used to be. So it made us think to have something to argue about.
Yeah.
And when we thought about it, like there were a few things we could come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely got us thinking because we just like automatically thought that the newer ways were kind of fun.
And then the roll call. We just took a photo all together in our learning space, which is just here because we take
This is
Because
our
we're
creative space
our
every week.
space every week. Yeah, so sweet. Overall, I think it was a really good lesson. Activities. Yeah,
Prezi.
looked good. It was quick. We didn't take too long doing
Yeah,
it.
no, that was good.
Yeah.
Massive bonus.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you.
Thanks.